What's up, droners, and welcome to another edition of Droner News. And this week we have people with drones helping people, because we love that, as well as some DJI updates. So into it we jump. Number one, coming up first, we have in Texas, you guys know Hurricane Harvey, which to me is a funny name simply because our producer's name is technically Harvey, not Rob, so it's all his fault. But either way, we are talking about in Texas, we have the hurricane is messing everything up. I'm sure you guys have heard about how bad Houston is and everything's horrible. But, of course, drones are helping. The FAA definitely put a ban across the entire city, so don't just run to Houston and try to fly your drone. You cannot do that. But they've given 43 exemptions to different companies who are looking to do survey help to be able to help with the recovery and, well, just recovery efforts. One of the biggest people that are being helped, or the biggest kinds of help that's happening, is with surveying of like power lines, gas lines, and things like that, because obviously utility companies need to know what they need to be going for first. What are the biggest emergencies as the priority to fix so that, you know, everything can be better as quickly as possible, I think is the best way to put that. But either way, they're doing that. So if you want to go help, then you should probably talk to the FAA first. Either way, I'm super happy to see drones helping people. And yeah, as always, you know, good luck out there in Houston, guys. I hope everything's all right. Number two, the Lily drone refuses to die. I can't believe this story popped up. I don't know if you guys remember or not. There was was it a GoFundMe? A GoFundMe page. No. It was a Kickstarter. A Kickstarter page for the Lily drones that happened a while ago. And I talked about it. And one of the things I always warn about, whenever you see any kind of Kickstarter, Indiegogo, whatever it is, then if it's about a drone, you probably should not invest in it, because typically they cannot live up to what they say they can do with these drones, because drones are hard. They're very difficult to do. Ask GoPro. Either way, they are hard to do. In the Lily drone thing, they raised $34 million for a drone that never worked. And so that was it. That was the end of it. But apparently this company called Moda Group purchased what was left of the Lily drone, mostly just for the namesake, because everybody knows the name of it because it was the biggest failing drone thing ever. But either way, they bought it for $300,000, which is hilarious that they raised $34 million and somebody bought it for $300,000. How can you fail up like that? What is this? But either way, they did that, and now they're releasing the next gen, is what they're calling it. I'm really putting these in quotations, versions of Lily. Now, if you remember the Lily, the reason why people really like the Lily and the reason the name of Lily is because it reminds you of a lily pad. And they had the drone in water taking off because it was waterproof. They had the drone following somebody with a wristband. They had the drone doing a lot of cool stuff in the video that was obviously fake. All these cool things. So now the next generation version does have some of the qualities that the original one did, the next gen. It has a 4K camera, which is great. A follow me function and a foldable design with a little happy smiley face. But that is where these similarities end. After that, no, it's not. This is not a waterproof drone. It does not have a wrist controller, and it does not take flight just by throwing it in the air effortlessly. That is not how this drone works, because those things are unreasonable at this point in the drone development of life. So either way, this one is costing $799. Whew. That's expensive, especially since you can get like a Mavic for that, or close to it, or at least a Spark that will work. Or $499 for early buyers, because apparently they're doing early buyer stuff for cheaper. But either way, I'm incredibly skeptical of this featureless drone for the most part that is mocking a drone that failed. So eyes open, maybe this could be the drone that changes the industry, but if I'm betting on it, heck no, it's not. Number three. So, going back down under, because obviously I enjoyed Australia so much that we get to talk about it more. And this one's actually talking about drones monitoring the Great Barrier Reef. I didn't get to see the Great Barrier Reef when I was in Australia. That's like my biggest thing that I wish I could have seen, but I didn't. But either way, the Australian Institute for Marine Science is teaming up with a drone company called QUT to devise a program where they can use drones to help monitor the reefs. And these reefs are huge. Like the Great Barrier Reef is like the size of Japan. And that makes it pretty difficult to monitor how it's dying, because that's exactly what's happening right now. Is we're killing it because we're humans and we're dirty and we destroy everything. And one of the things we're destroying is one of the most beautiful things that's ever happened in the history of Earth is the Great Barrier Reef. Either way, it's dying slowly, and we want to monitor how slowly we're killing it for some reason. And the best way to do that is with drones. So QUT is working with artificial intelligence system, which is actually pretty cool, to be able to do smart learning, to be able to learn where the drones themselves can fly autonomously and figure out from their camera, is this open water or is this a reef? Is this a healthy reef or is this an unhealthy reef? And those kind of determinations are going to be able to quickly speed up how we're monitoring and how much information we're gathering about how the reef is dying. Now this this is a very, very sad story in regards to the reef dying. And the tone I just took might make you think I have something positive to come out of this, but I don't. It's dying. And the drones are helping though. The drones are helping to monitor it die. So hopefully we learn something to help us prevent it from dying so quickly. Number 4, MIT is advancing the inventory taking drones. Now, something that I wasn't super aware of, but I assumed could have been happening, is that a lot of major retailers or places that sell a lot of big things or stuff that need to keep inventory or in big warehouses are using drones to keep their inventory. Now, the issue with drones keeping inventory is that these drones are not there's a lot of problems with them. And the biggest problem is that they have to use an RFID reader, which is a heavy piece of equipment. The thing is big, it's huge. And if you're using that on a drone, you're not going to get that great of flight time. You're not going to get that great of maneuverability. You're not going to get a lot of stuff that you're probably going to want out of a drone or something to be efficiently move around a small, tight space for a long period of time. It's not going to work that way. So MIT actually was like, you know what? We got you out here. What we're going to do is change the way that the drone is working. And what they did is they actually took the RFID reader off of the drone and made it so that there's a relay system that can go to the drone to be able to make the reading easier. Now, to say that I completely understand this technology would be a complete lie. But what I can tell you is that they took the heavy thing off the drone, which makes it so that the drone flies better and makes it so that it can do its work more efficiently and for longer. So MIT is trying to help save everybody pennies on the dollar when it comes to how we're keeping track of all the Cheerios that we have on our shelves in Walmart. So I'm super excited about that, in the sense of maybe we can save some money off of it. But either way, it's drones helping, and I'm always a big fan of that, and it's technology advancing with drones, so all of it is good. And even better than this is that you actually are not replacing human beings with this yet, because you have to hire somebody to fly the drones, or at least to monitor the drones, because there's still, things going on, it's still new, still glitchy. So for the time being, human beings have not been completely replaced when it comes to keeping inventory in these warehouses. So good on you for keeping people employed for a short period of time, because obviously this isn't going to last forever. But, I'm a big fan of drones doing stuff. So here's drones doing stuff. Number 5. All right, coming in last, but definitely not, well, maybe kind of sort of least, is the DJI updates for their drones. Because DJI, after completely destroying the drone market outside of what they're doing in it, with releasing all the drones they did within the last year, which was phenomenal releases of drones, but maybe a bit much, because now they don't really have any competition and they don't really have any purpose of releasing anything actually new. So instead of doing that, what they're doing is releasing updates for the drones they already have out. So what they did was like, yo, guess what we have here at DJI? We have a new Spark software that does a new type of picture that's like a panorama picture, but it has a, what's it called? Fisheye. Fisheye. There it is. Rob is in the background. It has a fisheye effect on it. And also we have the, this one's the best one. What's it called? The Phantom 4 Pro. They're like, yo, we got a new Phantom 4 Pro. Like, oh, what does it do? It's like a really cool gray color. Okay, but what does it do? Everything a Phantom 4 Pro does. And it's gray colored. And that's literally it. That's everything.
It's great though. My biggest problem with the Phantom 4 is the color.
No, honestly, yeah, honestly, okay, like cameraman Tony said, the biggest complaint about the Phantom 4 Pro is the color, because why would you have a white drone in the sky against clouds? Like, it's a white drone against clouds in the sky. It's hard to see it. Like, that's where the Autel X-Star is amazing. It's a bright orange drone. Like, you can see it. But either way, that's what's happening with that. The biggest update they have actually is for the Mavic. They announced the Mavic Platinum, which I think is pretty cool, actually, because they redesigned the propellers to give it 11% more flight time and 60% less noise, which to me means I'm just going to be buying these propellers for my Mavic Pro Standard, which isn't, I guess, a standard. I don't know if you call it a standard after Pro, but either way, I'm going to buy those propellers because apparently they fit on a regular Mavic Pro, so there's no real reason for me to buy it, to be completely honest. I mean, but they did do some, like, they did new speed controllers and propeller stuff. That's when you get the 11% more flight time, but I'm expecting at least like a 4 or 5% better flight time on mine, and like at least a 50% reduction in sound when I put them on my Mavic, because, my Mavic's a boss, and it's gonna love that. It's gonna be a little jealous of the new color, because it's new Mavic color. It's platinum. But either way, it's pretty cool. So I think the Mavic is obviously the most impressive of the upgrades, but none of these are really all that impressive, to be honest. Like, yo, new blades for the Mavic and new colors for everybody. Oh, and you can take pictures in the new with the Spark. Bam, magic, because we're DJI. I think it's a good marketing ploy in the sense of, like, maybe if you were on the edge of like, oh, do I buy one of these or not? This will be the time to buy one. But for me, it just is like kind of like, let's get rid of this inventory of drones before we put out something new, because they're probably about to do that. So stay tuned for that. Droners, thank you for checking out this edition of Droner News that was adorned by the homie Khalik, who signed with his Instagram name up there. If you want to see more Droner News, you can see right here, because we have them. Or if you want to see the greatest intro video that a drone channel could possibly have, we got it. As always, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to us, because that shows us that you support, or hit up our Patreon page. And as always, make sure you stay fly.